Attorney-General. Senator Bushby.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Communications, Senator Fifield. Can the minister update the Senate on the National Broadband Network's latest milestone?
The Minister for Communications, Senator Fifield.
Thank you, Mr President. I thank Senator Bushby for his question and long interest in the nation's largest infrastructure project. Through you, Mr President, I'm very pleased to advise colleagues that today 4 million Australian homes and businesses can now access the NBN. That's 4,046,000 to be expect, a third of the nation, and that's 1 million additional homes and businesses in just 6 months. So, Mr President, from the far north of Queensland to Bunbury in WA, the NBN is being switched on at almost 30,000 workplaces and homes each and every week. 30,000 each and every week. With this scaling up, the NBN is on track to be available to half of Australian homes and businesses by the middle of the year. The great news, Mr President, is that the benefits of the NBN are now being felt around the nation. As you would know, distance education students can now see their classmates by video. Regional wineries can operate their head offices from the cellar door, and families can get their bills paid, homework completed and shopping done all at the same time. And it would be easy to forget, Mr President, perhaps if I didn't remind colleagues that things weren't always like this, that between 2010 and 2013 there were only 51,000 premises connected to the NBN. That's not 51,000 in one electorate or one state, that's 51,000 premises in the entire nation. So we have made dramatic progress since the change in 2013, Mr President, and the NBN finished 6 to 8 years sooner than would have been the case under those opposite.
The time for answering the question has expired. Senator Bushby, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the minister explain how the coalition's multi-technology mix has contributed to this increase in rollout speed?
Minister.
Thanks, Mr President. I can. Just as when it comes to energy, we're technology agnostic. When it comes to how energy is provided, with the NBN we're also technology agnostic, Mr President. I have said to colleagues before that former Senator Conroy had what I characterise as a theological approach to the rollout of the NBN. We're taking a technology approach, and the great news is because we use the technology that makes sense in a given area. The great news is because our mandate to NBN is to roll it out as soon as possible and at lowest cost. The NBN will be completed, is on track to be completed, is on budget to be completed by 2020. That's 6 to 8 years sooner than would have been the case under those opposite, and at $30 billion less cost. Finished sooner, at less cost, on time, on budget.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Bushby, final supplementary question.
Thank you. I do have a further supplementary. Can the minister outline how Australian taxpayers and consumers are benefiting from the coalition's faster and more affordable NBN rollout?
Order on my left. On my left. Minister.
Thanks, Mr President. Well, I can assist Senator Bushby in how consumers and taxpayers will benefit through the coalition's approach. It's quite straightforward that if the project costs less, that means taxpayers will pay less for it. If the project costs less, it means the people who access voice and data over the NBN will pay less in what they're required to render to the NBN through their retail service providers. And that's what we're about, Mr President, is seeing the NBN built as soon as it possibly can be, because that's when you get the full national economic benefits. You don't get that until you have all Australian homes and businesses able to access the NBN. If we had continued with the approach of those opposite, there would be many Australians who are waiting to maybe 2026 or 2028. Can you imagine that, Mr President? Australians having to wait till 2026 or 2028. We said, no way, we're going to do better, all done, all dusted by 2020.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering has expired.